My fellow Guardians, what's up y'all? Your dude Sly here, and welcome back to another Sly Nation Grasp of Averice Dungeon guide. In my last video, part 1, we checked out the intro area and the first boss fight against Frisia the Insatiable, aka the Ogre fight. Now here in part 2, we're going to dive into the Sparrow race and then the first area within the Sunken Lair. In part 3, I'll then walk y'all through the boss fight, but again, that will be another video. So if you need help with that, then definitely keep an eye out for it. Alright y'all, so sit back, chillax, and let's get this bad boy started. First, let's talk weapons and subclasses, well, kind of. For this part of the dungeon, what you equip really is not that big of a deal, at least not on the 1310 version. Here in part 2, there really are no bosses to deal with, mostly just mechanics, so you don't really need to worry about subclasses and weapons until you reach the end boss, and again, that will be in part 3 of the series. My recommendation is to use the same thing I talked about in part 1, a primary shotgun with Vex Mythoclast and Threaded Needle Linear Fusion Rifle. If you don't have Vex, Cartesian coordinate, and then use a sword or sleeper. For this part, a sword might actually work best anyhow. As for subclasses, you're going to want to use ad clearing or roaming supers. Not that they are really needed, but it will help to speed things along. Alright y'all, so with that out of the way, let's dive in. After you defeat the Ogre Frisia, make your way through the dilapidated structure and then choose the switch on the left. The one on the right will probably kill you. As soon as you flip the switch, get on your Sparrow and then go ahead and book it. Now, just like the Sparrow race within the Scourge of the Past raid, there will be buttons that you have to drive over or at least close to, but instead of unlocking a secret chest at the end, you will be extending a timer by doing so. Now, you don't have to hit all of them, but if you do, it makes this part a cakewalk even solo. So the idea here is simple. Reach the mines before they explode and try to turn on as many buttons as possible while doing so. There are these white dome-like structures that you see here, and they're scattered on various paths throughout the area. Now I have yet to take the time to see where each one is located, but currently there is really no need. Just hit them as you see them and you should be fine. The only one I remember for certain is at the very end of the run. You'll see a giant skull at the end that you have to jump through, and the left eye socket houses one of these buttons. Now, I've always liked these kind of Sparrow races within dungeons and raids, but sometimes in-game physics and weird geometry can kind of take you for an unforeseen ride, and most of the time kill you. So just take your time, and remember, the more times you die and redo this area, the better you'll be for it. So once you make it past the Sparrow area, head through the Crystal Cave and then into the Sunken Lair. The hot air balloon looking thing in the middle houses a fallen shield that we have to destroy. This is one of the more unique mechanics in any of the dungeons out there, and a pretty fun area if I do say so myself. So the idea here is this y'all, you have to combine the two mechanics that we talked about in part 1. The exotic engrams and depositing them into the crystal altars, and the scorch cannons, so that we can unleash an exploding servitor on the nodes located around the shield. After you blow up enough of the nodes, the shield comes down, granting you access to the final boss, which will be in the center of that balloon. Now the shield is this blue looking thing that you see here underneath the hot air balloon. The nodes are these orange glowing objects located here around the ring. In order to blow up these nodes, you have to use the Mancannons located around the map to launch an explosive servitor. It hits the node, blows it up, and then you just complete the process all the way around the map. Now, just for the record, I know that the object in the middle is not a hot air balloon. It's one of those colony pods off the rockets in the Cosmodrome. They were used to house all of the stasis pods for space exploration. But you cannot tell me that that thing does not look like a hot air balloon. So, because it looks like a hot air balloon, that is what I will be calling it. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and start things off. First you need to look for a Scorch Cannon Vandal and then go ahead and take it out. Grab the Scorch Cannon, then launch one shot into the orb charging station or whatever these things are called, and then hold the charge while walking to the Mancannon. Stand underneath and then let the charge explode. This will then activate the Mancannon, sending you to wherever it's pointed. In order to aim the Mancannon, simply stand underneath it and swivel it to the direction that you want to go. Now, in order to decide where to point the Mancannon, you need to locate an island where the enemies are located, or at least spawned in. The best way to do this is to keep an eye out for the servitor with a white immunity shield. That one stands out the most. Use the zoom on the Scorch Cannon and then look around the map. Sometimes they're kind of hard to find, but eventually you will spot one. Wherever the servitor is located, that's going to be your next stop. So point your Mancannon to that island, or if need be, to an island halfway between the two, and then relay yourself to the destination. Once you're at the island with the servitor, you're going to need to drop the servitor's shield. Now, in order to do that, you have to kill all the fallen in the area, collect the exotic engrams that they drop, and then deposit them into the crystal altar. Once you got enough engrams into the crystal, the shield will then drop. Use your shotgun to drop the servitor. Once you do so, this is where the bomb comes in. As you see here in the video, the dead servitor now becomes a bomb with a countdown timer. So before that timer hits 0, you need to roll the servitor over to the Mancannon. Aim the Mancannon at the hot air balloon and then use the scorch cannon to activate it just like you did in the beginning. It will then launch the bomb, hit one of the nodes, weakening the shield. Once you take out the node, start looking around for the next servitor immediately, because once they spawn in, it will then sometimes head out of view and it'll be hard to spot. So you want to try and see it before that happens. Once you see where the next servitor is located, aim your Mancannon, launch your team over to the enemy infested island, and then repeat the process. Once you've launched enough servitors to take out the shield, you then launch yourselves to the middle island and then up into the balloon itself, and that's really about it, y'all. Once you make your way to the top, you've made it to the final boss room. And the fight itself is really not that hard, but there is a little bit to explain, which I will do in part 3. So if you wish to check it out, keep an eye out for my next video where I will go over everything in depth. But for now, that's about it, ladies and gents. Thank you all so much for watching and for supporting my little slice of gaming heaven here. If you're new to my channel, then welcome, Guardian. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like halfway decent guides and walkthroughs, then you have definitely come to the right place. Subscribe for plenty more Destiny 2 30th Anniversary and Witch Queen videos, tutorials, and guides. Spank the thumbs up or down if you liked, loved, or hated this video, and if you wish to get in touch, business or otherwise, feel free to hit me up for whatever. SlyNationGaming67@gmail.com, or check me out over on the socials at Sly_Nation on Twitter, Sly Nation Gaming on good old Facebook. Take care, y'all, and I hope to see you again in part 3. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll catch you beautiful people next time.